Good morning. Welcome to the first Football Sunday forecast discussion for the NFL. We're going to talk about a lot of the football games today and also give you my picks. I figured I'd add this as a little bit of fun. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world, so it's good to have a little bit of fun from time to time. So we're going to talk about the different weather impacts that are expected for the 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. games, and also we'll take a look at the later games as well. Obviously, the Chiefs already played on Thursday. It was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Texan, whatever, they don't matter, okay? They don't matter. The Houston, whatever, it doesn't, they're inferior. So the Chiefs have already won. Expect to hear that quite a bit as we move forward. As you know, I am a diehard Chiefs fan, and not just this year. I have jerseys going back to Montana and Marcus Allen, and even before that. So definitely a diehard Chiefs fan here, so we're going to obviously focus on that. But first of all, let's talk about the impacts of the games, the weather impacts, okay? So when we take a look at most of the games, there really isn't a lot in terms of impacts. And of course, there's some teams who are cowardly and play in domes, which, as you may have heard in the past, I am very much against dome teams. Look, it's football. You play in the elements. The elements include rain and snow and everything else, okay? So, but I don't control the league, so it is what it is. So one of the games that will have a major impact from the weather will be the Jets at Bills. As you can see, plenty of rainfall is already moving through here. This is going to remain a threat on through the entire game, so some ball handling may be an issue. For the other game, the Colts at Jaguars, there's going to be an increasing threat for showers for the Jaguars game as we are dealing with an influx of precipitation moving into the Florida coast here. This is part of the influence from Tropical Storm Sally, but not direct. Basically, you have this ocean influence, kind of like a stiff easterly wind and moisture being driven in via a coastal front. So you're getting waves of rainfall, so that's certainly going to be a threat, but it won't be as strong of winds. Where you might want to watch out for winds is actually for the Dolphins and Patriots game, as winds are going to be increasing from the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts over 20 miles per hour, and that could lead to the potential for some very interesting passes. Remember, you don't have an elite quarterback up there anymore. You have a guy who thinks he's Superman, but he's not. Just so you know, but don't tell him that. You don't want to ruin his ego. But then you also have another egomaniac in that coach that's up there, so we'll just see just what happens with that game. It's going to be very interesting. Is it the system or was it the quarterback? Because the quarterback is currently down in Tampa, so we'll see whether the quarterback is able to do better than the system. So very interesting. Another game that we're going to be watching out is the Raiders at Panthers. Threat for a few isolated showers. I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact. In the afternoon games, the 4 p.m. games, not a lot of weather impacts. The 49ers, if anything, it's going to be smoking the air quality out there. And then the 8 p.m. game, you have the Cowboys at Rams. Again, the major concern here will be the air quality and the smoke in the atmosphere. Monday night games, not looking for much in the way of impacts here. We're talking about scattered cloud cover for both the Steelers at the Giants and also the Titans at the Broncos. So, weather impacts, not too bad, you know, but wait until we get to the winter months and we start talking about snow. That's going to be fun. So let's talk about my picks. So we start off with Kansas City dominating, as you must know, and then, of course, I'm going for Seattle to beat Atlanta. Now, I don't buy Atlanta. I like Seattle's defense a little bit better. Then you got Buffalo at New York Jets. I'm very interested. This was a toss-up for me because Buffalo is a team that I think has a lot of potential here of taking over the East, okay, the AFC East. But the Jets, I really, really like their offense. I really do. I think that last year, look, when your quarterback has mono, okay, it impacts your team. It impacts everything about your team, okay? So how that translates to this year, I'm very interested to find out. So I went with the Jets. It's kind of like a Hail Mary here, okay? This is like one of those picks where if it kind of makes a difference throughout the year, whether or not you're in the top 10 or whether you're in the bottom 10, because you get one of these wild picks that everyone else would be against. I mean, you can see here the pick distribution, almost everyone's going with Buffalo. So I'm kind of going with a wild card here in that respect. Detroit versus Chicago. I like Chicago's offensive line a lot better here, so I think they're going to take out Detroit. Let's see, Minnesota versus Green Bay. Green Bay is just not the team it was. I don't like their defense. I don't like their offensive line. I don't like their receiving core. Minnesota, I think, is a little bit better organized team, and I like to see where they go. New England at Miami. This is going to be a very interesting game because I don't think it's going to be a blowout like you would normally expect with Miami teams. I think that this is going to be more of a fight for New England, but I think that they'll be able to pull it out because they just have a superior coaching. But I'm very interested to see just how well they play because you have a very, very important player no longer there, which is your quarterback. So who I will not name because he cheats. Then we got Philadelphia at Washington. I'm picking Philadelphia because I just think that they're a better team than Washington overall in all aspects. Even though that they hate Santa Claus and have attacked him before, I still have to go with that. But I forever curse them because they have now apologized to Santa. Finally, we got Las Vegas and, well, not finally, and Carolina. Okay, look, it's the Raiders. I don't care whether they are in Las Vegas, Oakland, whatever. They could be on the moon. It's still the Raiders, and they're still going to lose. So I'm going with Carolina. Then you got Indianapolis at Jacksonville. I really like Indianapolis's offensive line. I think they do a really good job protecting. I think it's going to give them enough time to have a pretty healthy running game, and I think they're going to beat Jacksonville. Baltimore at Cleveland. Look, Baltimore is the second best team in the AFC. They're a far second base team. They're way back there behind the Chiefs, but still they are a formidable team, and I think they will handle Cleveland very easily. Then you got Los Angeles at Cincinnati. I'm going with Cincinnati beating the Chargers. Why? Because the Chargers don't have a real game plan yet. I think they're in a rebuilding aspect of their team. I think Cincinnati is a little bit better cohesive team, and I like them beating them. Finally, we have New Orleans at Tampa Bay. I think New Orleans is a fading team, but still good enough to beat Tampa Bay. I think that the new quarterback there, who I shall not name, is going to learn that there is a huge difference when you have different coaching and a different game plan. And also, he isn't that good of a thrower. Okay, he just isn't. He's just going to learn a harsh lesson about dealing with New Orleans. It's going to be a very interesting game, but I like New Orleans a lot here. San Francisco versus Arizona. I picked San Francisco not because I like them, but geez, they've gone through enough with the Fires. So I just like, here, have a nice win. Dallas versus Los Angeles. Raiders here, not Raiders. Rams. I just like Dallas's offense a little bit better. It should be an interesting game here. Again, this is one of those picks here where it's against the overall thoughts of many people in the NFL, but I like Dallas here in this respect. Going with the Giants at Pittsburgh when they're facing Pittsburgh. Look, Pittsburgh, I think, is a team that is going to be in a lot of change, and I think they're in for a rough season. And I like the Giants here in this respect as they are at home. It's a Monday night game. I think they'll do well. I think their quarterback is going to do better this year, but we'll see. We'll see how that all shakes out. And then Tennessee at Denver. Again, Denver is Denver. Okay, they're not that good of a team, and they are challenged the Chiefs, so therefore they will lose. So as a result, I'm going with Tennessee in that game. Those are my picks for this week. We'll see how I work out. I'm already 1-0, so usually I'm usually like, in the higher realm of these picks here, mostly because I force them psychically. So that is your discussion for today. I will be back next Sunday. We'll go over the picks and see how I did and what I'm expecting going forward. Have a wonderful Sunday, and as always, have plenty of wings, treats, and just enjoy the games. Have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.